The settlement surrounding events that happened at this intersection March 5th, 2022. That's the day a 20-year-old tow truck driver from St. Joseph was hit and killed.
The City of Champaign is now considering a $2 million settlement. It's in the wrongful death lawsuit for Ross Booker. 2 years ago, he was clearing debris from a car accident near Neal Street and Windsor Road. That's when a 16-year-old driver hit him. The family filed suit against the city a year later, and the complaint alleges that Champaign police officers at the scene contributed to his death. It says they authorized Booker to enter the intersection when it was unsafe and allowed traffic to travel into the intersection while he was there. The city's attorney recommends they settle the lawsuit. In a statement, he says, quote, "This is a very tragic situation. With the assistance of an expert mediator, the parties participated in a formal mediation, which included a comprehensive evaluation of the risks and expenses if the case proceeded to trial. Ultimately, the proposed settlement was determined to be in the best interests of all involved. So I asked the communication manager why $2 million. It
was determined that that was a fair amount that both parties could live with, because there's cost involved in litigation for lawyers and other things, and an uncertainty for both sides if this were to go to trial.
Well, the value of one of these things really depends on what the relatives or children or wife would have depended on had the person lived. And so the calculation of damages is actually pretty unique to each case in something like this. Obviously, the city acknowledged that they had exposure and liability. If this thing was to go to trial, they knew they had a certain degree of risk about how much a jury would come back for. Otherwise, they wouldn't have agreed to a settlement. And yes, of course, there's going to be cost involved in litigation, and that's a factor that unfortunately everybody has to consider when reaching a settlement agreement. I mean, there's risk and there's cost, and those are two huge components of every settlement. Obviously, they wouldn't settle it if they didn't think there was some degree of exposure, and of course the cost of litigation is substantial. So this is probably a very fair outcome, actually. The family's going to get something. Of course, that can never replace the loss that somebody takes from losing a loved one or something like that. So it seems like this was probably a pretty good outcome. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching.